Jules here, and I'm going to answer a question that I've been asked by students at several different events and even some parents. What's the difference between the old spacesuit or the existing spacesuit and the new spacesuit? They both perform the same functions, right? Even Christina Cook, one of the Artemis II astronauts, asked me a similar question just to make sure that she had the answer right. I love her humility. So, to answer this question, let's think about the current spacesuit. That's the Extravehicular Mobility Unit, the EMU. Now, the EMU was first put into service in 1981. So let's think about that for a minute. If you had a car that was a 1981 model, would it still run? Would it still perform the function of getting you from point A to point B? Maybe, if you performed a lot of maintenance on it and kept up with the oil changes and changing the tires and all the things. And of course, we have worked very hard to maintain the EMU. So yes, the EMU works, absolutely. And actually, we're talking about a lunar spacesuit. So if we talk about a lunar spacesuit, that's the Apollo era spacesuits. Those are 1960 models, because remember, man first set foot on the moon in 1969. Therefore, those suits were designed in the 1960s. Very few of us have cars that are that old. We choose to get a new model. Why? Because technology evolves. And as technology evolves, the cars have gotten more fuel efficient, they pollute the environment less. There's all sorts of good things about new cars, right? Also new features like power door locks and power windows. Back in the older models, we actually had a crank where to get the window down or to get the window back up. And I guess it's telling that I know which way is which because I did have grandparents with cars with crank windows. At any rate, if you had a choice between buying a 1969 car or a 2023 model, I'd guess which one you'd get, all other things being equal. So to go back to the spacesuit, there's a lot different. The Apollo spacesuit had backpacks that actually have straps. Now imagine for a moment trying to do your work for 8 hours with your backpack on. Even if that backpack was light as a feather, it would get annoying, right? Having to worry about the straps and having a weight on your back. Well, the Apollo astronauts felt the same way. So from the Apollo era suits to the EMU, we changed from straps to a hard mechanical connection. So there's no straps. So that's one of the changes from just Apollo to EMU. We're not even talking about all the way to the new suit. Another change is that the Apollo suit had connectors on the front with hoses coming from the backpack or the primary life support system, the PLIS. So from the PLIS to the suit, there were hoses. And as you can imagine, hoses are annoying, they'd get in the way. So we went to a new design for the EMU. Those connections actually go straight from the backpack or the PLIS into the suit. So there aren't all the hoses. What else? Inside the PLIS, there's going to be different electronics. As we discussed, going from a 1969 vehicle to a 2023 vehicle, the technology is going to be very different. We're changing the cooling system. We're changing, there's a lot different in the cooling system. And we're changing the carbon dioxide scrubber. So the existing carbon dioxide removal system is called the METOX, the metal oxide canister, METOX. And the METOX is a box with some chemicals in it. Air goes in, air goes out, and inside are some chemicals, that METOX, that takes the carbon dioxide out of the air, and then, relatively clean air comes out the other side. But that METOX canister is saturated after 8 hours. So instead of that system, we're going to a device that works with the vacuum of space, and so theoretically, it could work for hours. It can work for hours. I don't know how many days it could work running continuously. I don't have that test data, but that's not going to be a limiting factor on EVAs, extravehicular activities, or spacewalks. We will still have limiting features, most notably the amount of oxygen in the air tank. So that's going to remain the same. I could go on about the different technologies that are different, but I just want to leave you with that image of going from a 1969 vehicle to a 2023 vehicle. It's going to be a lot better, a lot more efficient, and I look forward to seeing the first woman and the first person of color step foot on the moon with the Artemis program. And congratulations to the Artemis 2 crew. I am very excited for all of you and can't wait to see you succeed. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions about space or especially about innovation. Those are two of my loves. And I appreciated meeting all of the FIRST Robotics teams that over the last week in Houston, Texas at the World Championships. Shout out to the Tigers and a special shout out to my friends from Compton. Have a great day.